Hey, what's up, guys? I just wanted to share something really cool that happened last night. So I tore my meniscus in my knee, so I'm like off work right now. And right before that happened, I had felt like the Lord was saying I was going to spend all this time with them and to take whole days to rest and stuff like that, which hasn't been my norm, and I've been so busy with everything, it's been difficult to do that. But last night was interesting. He had me go and rest, and the first thing he said to me was, if you had one of your organs, like your heart or your brain or something like that, outside of yourself and lined up with a bunch of other people's, which is so weird, I know, but he said you wouldn't be able to recognize it amidst them all. And I thought that was really weird that he said that. And then what did he do? Oh, and so then he was telling me that even if something's very, very important to us, and there are things in our life that are vital and a core part of what serves us and it makes us alive, and we wouldn't even be able to recognize this. We don't know parts of ourselves. We don't know ourselves basically on certain levels, so I'm saying that to say this. So what he had me do is he calls it stripping down, basically. And I recommend this practice for anybody. I mean, it's just such an incredible experience every time I do it. But he has me take off things that are like my identity, what I identify with, like clothing. And so, he'll have me remove my name. I close my eyes and I remove my name from myself. I remove the country I'm from. I remove, the clothes I associate with, or the foods I like, or the family I'm from, or the big one seems to be removing my goals and ambitions and dreams and visions, even like my ministry, like everything that I identify with. He has me remove all those things, and he keeps throughout the whole time just keep reminding me that without this, you're still you. Without that, you're still you. You're still you. And I just got to this place where I was so at peace, and it felt really good and really deep. It always does doing that. I recommend it. If you've never done it, try it out. It's awesome. Because you're still you without all this stuff, without all these fake identities that we have. We don't even realize we identify with. And so he has me doing that, and then he has me focus on how I feel right then. And I feel really, everything just feels really at ease, And then I start to notice that it's like every few seconds, my mind just comes up with something else to think about. And it's like really random. And, I know that I know I'm creative. And I know that, I had ADHD, growing up and all that, but it was interesting watching it. It was kind of concerning. It was so sporadic, and it's just back to back to back to back different thoughts all over the place, that it made me feel like whatever that part of me is feels not healthy at all. It feels like a little insane, or maybe I guess the best way to describe it is what he said about it. He said, he didn't say being psychopathic. What did he say? It was like, basically being insane is being detached from reality, but also detached from ourselves. So it's like, I myself, in that situation, was observing this other part of my brain coming up with these things, right? So who am I in that? I'm not the functioning little device there. I am myself watching it. Well, he was just saying that it's a type of insanity, really, if you can't control your brain and it's pulling you all over. he brought up that it can make people feel numb. It can make time pass really quickly. But those, I know people are like at their jobs, like hoping to God the time just goes by. But that's a red flag. If you're like dreading every minute that you're doing most of what you do in your life, you're dreading your life. That's not a good sign, and so all that to say, I grew more and more concerned about this, because I'm like, Lord, like, this thing feels crazy, and it feels like so many things. It feels greedy for experience. It feels like, I remember one part of the experience, I thought of, some scenario for a show or something, and immediately my mind's like trying to imagine how to commercialize it, or same with like, I have an invention idea. It was like 10 different ideas within 5 minutes, and I did this for quite a while. Actually, I did it for like the whole practice. I think it was like 40 minutes, but and I guess I felt so much peace that's why it was such a contrasting experience, having like this thing pulling me all these different directions. It felt disturbing, because I wanted to not be disturbed in that moment. I wanted to be at rest. And so finally I asked him, I was like, Lord, you got to get rid of this. Whatever this is, I hate it. I don't want it in my life. I can see you're explaining to me like all these problems that it makes. How can you get rid of this? Can you just deliver me from it, And he said, well, that's what we're doing right now. Residing in peace will do that. And actually, it reminded me of a book I read called The Willpower Instinct. I'm at a red light here. I'm not just direct eye contact as I drive. The Willpower Instinct's a very interesting book. I think it's called, The Willpower Instinct. This person taught a class at Harvard, and it ended up being the most popular class. They had to move locations 2 or 3 times. I think it was 3 times, to bigger and bigger auditoriums, because so many people went to this class they wanted to be in. And it was not about forcing yourself to do things. It was like scientifically backed explanations for succeeding with willpower. And actually they brought up that trying to use brute force to succeed in willpower doesn't work. Most of the time it backfires, because it provides such a relief to your brain when you finally give in, that you're creating basically a better looking oasis for your brain. Okay, so reminded me of that, because at the end of the book, one of the things they bring up, they said the most effective way to grow in your self-control and your willpower, which I've struggled with so badly as an adult, it's ridiculous. I think in our society it's like very easy. I was literally writing a book about this, so I don't know if I want to go into that whole thing, but it's I'll just say this: marketing tactics are so studied at this point. Psychology, the whole realm of psychology, and its intertwining with marketing and addiction and keeping customers have been so researched. There are science that I don't think they're even ethically used anymore. I think it's unethical, because I think they're removing your free will they're full manipulating you. So whatever. Anyways, with that book, he said the most powerful way people could grow their willpower was actually to grow their frontal cortex, which is where your willpower is seated. It's kind of like a muscle, they said. And the most effective way they found to do it was actually just focusing on people's breathing. They did this big study, and the people did this for 6 weeks. They only did 5 minutes of controlled breathing a day. The people that struggled to just focus on their breath the most actually experienced the most growth of gray matter in their frontal cortex, up to, I forget it because it's been like 5 years since I read it. It's either 60 or 40% more gray matter, which is freaking insane. So, and they also were saying it will basically focusing on something, intensely focusing on something, forces blood into your frontal cortex. It like floods it with it, and then it grows like a muscle. So that was really interesting, and I found of that book and all that once he said that to me, that you know, we're doing it right now. This is how you do it. You just, and you guys, I was trying it so freaking hard. I could get like 6 or 8 seconds before I start, and I would forget I was doing the exercise because I would start thinking of something so bad, so different out of nowhere. I remember at one point I was going on some rabbit trail in my brain, and out of nowhere I just flashingly thought of Monty Python and the Shirts for the Holy Grail. Out of nowhere. It was so ridiculous. It was like I was like imagining you know, something else completely, maybe with interacting with my bank or something, or some way, you know, I'm starting to share more music and playing a whole lot more music, worship music and stuff the Lord's saying to me, which is really cool stuff, by the way. But I was like thinking of that stuff, and then I just think of this movie randomly. I'm like, dude, I don't know. I did learn about another part of the brain today when I was I googled that study in that book, The Willpower Instinct, and I did find there's another part of your brain. I might post it in the comments or something. I don't know, but what is it called? Basically, there's this part of your brain that helps with it is active when you are fantasizing or daydreaming or you know, just chilling in La La Land and coming up with stuff. I forget the name of it right now, but it can actually be overactive, and that can be one of the reasons that your body, that your brain struggles with focusing. But the frontal cortex monitors and you know, keeps everything else in check in the brain. It does a lot of stuff, but that's one of the biggest ones. That book's really good. I'll link that. I think I'll just link that too, if you want to get that book, I guess. Not really what this is about though. So, all right, well, that's it, guys. This is kind of nicer doing it in the car. I'm just paying attention enough that I'm not going on crazy tangents. Maybe I am. The whole thing's a tangent, though. Okay. All right, well, thanks, guys, and bless you.